We're talking about, portfolio, but I want to take a step back here,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Because I still remember back when, you and I used to go run at Discovery Park, right? And we had Eric Sage on the show.
Mhm.
And you're like, this creative thing, this is interesting. Might
Yeah.
have some legs.
Yeah.
Right? So I want to talk about your journey into the creative world.
Okay.
So step one,
I was born in a creative finance household. A lot of people don't actually know this. My parents moved 26 times before I turned 19, and all of the houses my dad bought for our family was a seller finance, a subject to, or a lease option purchase. The challenge with my dad is my dad never looked at creative finance as anything other than a way to buy a house for his family. And why was my dad buying houses for his family with creative finance, but not going out and doing real estate investing? Well, my dad, as an accountant, was making $60,000, $70,000 a year with 12 children. Obviously not enough money. So he goes and starts a painting company, making money under the table for an extra $200,000, $300,000 a year. So that income that's non-reportable, or he's not reporting it, but it's non-bankable income, which means no bank's going to give him a loan based on that income. My dad's like, I got to figure out how to buy houses big enough for my family.
Mm-hmm.
So he would go find 5,000, 7,000, 11,000 square foot houses for my 12 kids and my parents to live in. And he would find seller finance, subject to, and lease option opportunities. So I've always known what creative finance was, but I always thought it was a way to just buy houses for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So when the Eric Sage episode came, I sat down with Eric and I would go, look, I've done a handful of creative finance strategies, but I want to understand, how do you create a massive business? And I became friends with Eric. We spent a whole year together. And I spent a lot of time with Eileen Brown, who's done creative finance strategies for 48 years. I paid for a couple of creative finance mentorships that were absolute trash. You find out that the mentors hadn't done deals in 15 years or so. And I am like, all right, I got to figure this out. So Eileen Brown, Eric Sage, my dad were the three main people that helped me out.
Yeah. So I guess for you then, with your dad already having done it, there was not as much hesitation.
No.
So there was not is this going to work for building your portfolio, right? Because at that time, you were home investors, right?
Mm-hmm.
You were my contractor. I was a realtor. I was a broker,
right?
And then you were wholesaling, and then I got more active in the wholesaling, and then you pivoted to creative. Right. Was there any doubt whatsoever? Is creative the way to go, or is all right, this is it, I'm all in?
No, it was actually really similar. It was kind of it was forced on me. So before I really pivoted full time to creative, I'm now to a point, bro, that I'm somewhat aggressive with people that go, hey, Pace, I've got a deal. I go, I don't buy cash deals. I don't even want a cash deal. I don't even want them sent to me unless they're here in Arizona. I'll buy cash deals in Arizona. All other 49 states, I won't touch a cash deal. Mm-hmm. And so people DM me, they text me, they whatever. And I'm like, if it's not creative, I don't want to look at it. Yeah. In fact, I've got a text message with somebody in Houston who's like, I just sent you a big portfolio deal. And I go, not looking at it because I'm sure it's not creative. He goes, no, it's creative. I go, perfect. Then we can have a conversation. Right. But what happened to me is in 2000, 4 years ago, I had a gentleman, that's to put it very politely, owed me $1 million or so. He files bankruptcy on me and 16 million other dollars worth of debt he owed. Mm-hmm. He was running a Ponzi scheme here in Phoenix, Arizona. And I've always been a creative person. So the way I got myself into this really shitty situation is I go, how do I accelerate my construction business? Well, the way I'll do it is I'll fund home renovators or fix and flippers renovations up front. Mm-hmm. And then they can pay me when their buyer comes and pays them.
Right.
So, dude, my business lit up on fire, went crazy. And I was making great money working for Open Door, OfferPad, Zillow. I was the big contractor here in town. But then one guy got his hooks in me and decided, I'm going to file bankruptcy on you and everybody else I owe money to. And I'm sitting there going, wow, I invested all my time and energy into this guy for basically 2 or 3 years as I was building his business and doing all this stuff. And all he had to do was wipe me out with one filing of bankruptcy. Mm-hmm. So that commitment, which was about 6 months before I came on the show the first time, that commitment forced me, unfortunately, that situation that I went through forced me to sell my house I was in the middle of building and 40 rentals at the time. I had to sell everything just to keep my construction business afloat. Yeah. So I had to sell everything. And I rebuilt everything from scratch. And when I went to go buy another home for myself, guess what, bro? I had no cash. I had no credentials because I was a contractor, and you try and ride as much as you could off.
Nearly
and so
zero
I was
income.
forced into a situation where I'm like, how do I build a massive portfolio without cash, credit, or credentials? And I just looked at what my dad had done. I looked at what other people done. I said, I'm committing to this. So I had hesitation, but I also had no choice.
Yeah.